What's up, guys? It's Elaine here with Neon Owl, connecting people through music, passion, and giving back. We tell the stories that are not often told by featuring up close and personal interviews with some of your favorite artists, entrepreneurs, and other influencers within the music industry. We dive into their journeys, struggles, motivations, and vision behind why they do what they do. Through that, we hope to inspire you to follow your dreams, your passions, and to always be the best and boldest versions of yourself. Today, we actually have Stephen and Dennis from RavExchange here. It's actually a platform that allows festival goers, music lovers, and ravers to be able to sell or trade tickets and really taking out the middleman. I've been a part of this community or this Facebook page for about a year and a half now, and I've seen it grow tremendously. They're at about 35,000 users for their Facebook page alone, and they have a ton of exciting stuff coming up for 2016, including their website along with an app. So really excited to have these guys here today. And here's Dennis and Steven. All right, so we are here with Dennis and Steven today from RavExchange. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. Good.
So I always like to start with a positive focus or something that you are excited about.
I'm very excited about 2016. We have a lot going on. Very looking forward to, all the opportunities that's going to come up this next year.
Yeah, same. 2016 is going to be a huge year for myself and for RavExchange as a whole. So
Yeah.
pretty excited.
So so introduce yourselves a little bit. What do you guys do for RavExchange?
Yeah, so I'm Dennis. I'm the CEO of RavExchange, one of the co-founders. I basically do most of the marketing, project development, and outreach to a lot of partners.
My name is Steven. I'm the president and also the other co-founder. I help with a lot of the advertising, and stuff like that.
Okay. So can you tell us, for those of us that don't use RavExchange, obviously I've been a part of the community, but for everybody else that's listening out there, what is RavExchange?
So RavExchange is I would like to call it a community-driven platform to buy and sell tickets. One of the reasons we call it that is the way that our platform's been going on is through Facebook. So a lot of users is very transparent. So community people helping each other buy and sell tickets, keeping each other accountable for selling real tickets, and just helping each other in ways that we couldn't even imagine, helping people return all kinds of things to lost souls out there.
Yeah, I know. I see that a lot. Like if someone found like a phone or something at an event, I see that being posted on the Facebook page or the Facebook group. So I mean, how did that even come about? Like, when did it all get started? Who came up with the idea? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So back in 2013, our friends and like extended friends had trouble finding tickets to events when they were sold out. And people started going on Craigslist and getting ripped off and StubHub, and it was just too expensive.
Yeah.
So Dennis started this Facebook group and invited like a couple hundred people, like just people we knew.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just kind of like a place for people to network and exchange tickets that they already have from other people.
Yeah, and then it just like grew from there. Like it's always like a multiplier effect, right? It's like I invited 100 of my friends, and then they invited 100 of their friends, and it just blew up. And just this past year, it was just tremendous growth, and it started becoming like a Bay Area thing.
Yeah.
And anyone that we talk to in the Bay Area now has a friend that's used RavExchange or personally has used RavExchange. So we really love that, seeing that there's a centralized place for the Bay Area at least to connect with one another.
Yeah. So I mean, what was the intention, or has the intention changed when you guys first started this in 2013 versus what it is right now?
Yeah, so my intention originally was to just create a place where I can personally find tickets when these things are sold out. One of the first times I encountered a sold out event was Beyond Wonderland in 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Came to America basically.
Yeah.
And it was like instantly sold out. I couldn't find a ticket. I went on Craigslist. Really shady. So yeah, my intention was to just have a really safe place to buy and sell tickets for myself and my friends. And just started growing from there because originally when I would find tickets, it was like, I would post on my personal Facebook page saying, who has a ticket? And a friend would say, oh, I have an extra ticket. And it just started becoming like that. We're like, oh, this friend effect, we can find tickets for one another. Snowball effect. Yeah. And I mean, the intention is still pretty much the same, to help each other buy and sell tickets. That's the primary focus of the page. And we try to keep it that way. But now that, we've evolved our thinking a little bit more, we're building a business behind it to really provide more services to the community, essentially.
So what would some of these services be?
You mean services for a new
for RavExchange, or what's like up and coming?
Oh yeah, so I mean, we have what we're doing now, basically like an exchange, and then we're eventually going to let people, instead of having to meet up and go through that whole process like people do now, we're going to let people instantly upload and download tickets. So it basically just removes that. And then we're going to have a kind of like a more safety features for buying. So people are going to be able to get verified by phone number, email, such stuff like that. So you kind of create a profile on our platform. And it'll be a very unique profile. Because you can't, you won't be able to make more than one account, really. Because if you do, then it's going to be obvious that your profile is fake or it's super sketch, that you wouldn't buy from it. So we're going to provide a lot of those kind of features to help people be more comfortable with buying. Especially like, if you look at our platform now, there's a lot of first-time ravers and a lot of first-time, people who go to these events, and they don't know the culture. They don't know there's a risk of being scammed, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So typically, a lot of those people will get scammed, and that's what we want to kind of minimize and, if possible, eliminate.
Yeah, and some of the additional service that we're going to be incorporating to our platform, which is why we want to build out this website and app. So we're going to have a website, a mobile app, make it more convenient on your phone, Android. We're also going to be building out things like a lost and found, like a centralized lost and found. So any event that you can go to, you don't have to go to I actually lost my wallet at Coachella, and I had to go to the lost and found, wait in line for an hour just to find my wallet. And I actually found my wallet, so that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of those things. Service like lost and found, we're going to have a community help forum. We just launched a help desk where there's going to be frequently asked questions. So a lot of really good information for new ravers plus people that's been in the scene for a while. And that's kind of the nice thing about RavExchange is there's a mix of new ravers and people who've been in this scene for years. So we can pass along the knowledge. And although Steven and myself don't attend events too much anymore, we can still pass our knowledge on what we know about how to safely buy tickets, how to safely interact with security, just all those kind of things. So just passing on the knowledge to the newer generations of viewers.
Yeah. So for all these new initiatives you guys are pushing out, when can we expect to see that? And then also, what's going to happen to the Facebook community?
Yeah. So you're going to be able to start seeing the new platform hopefully soon, coming probably January. You'll start seeing the website at least. Right now, we also have a third co-founder. His name is actually Dennis Burkle. He's working on the back end of it. So really building things out, on a weekly basis, pumping out new features and new stuff to our website. So January, I expect to see the launch of our website. And this coming summer, you'll probably start seeing our apps. Really exciting stuff for first half of the year.
Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen to the Facebook page once you kind of launch the app and launch the website?
So that's still up for discussion. We still see that it's a great way for people to quickly talk and discuss, because Facebook is the number one driver of traffic to a lot of platforms, and we feel like that's still going to be something we want to have. But we definitely would encourage people to use our new website and our new app, just because it's a lot more safer and there's a lot more things we can do to help people in case there is problems. With Facebook right now, it's like as much as we try to help, it's really like a free marketplace like Craigslist.
Yeah.
But at least there's some accountability in it now versus just dealing with some strangers at Safeway, giving you a ticket and handing them some cash.
I mean, I've personally been using it for about maybe a year and a half already, and I haven't found very many issues with it at all. I mean, have you guys encountered a lot of people trying to scam people? I see a comment here and there, but for the most part, people vouch for people. They're like, yeah, credible seller or credible buyer or whatever that is. So for me, it's been a good experience.
Yeah, it's. I see a big like a real legit scam issue, maybe like once every couple months. Most of the times that's quote unquote a scam, it's like just a huge misunderstanding. Like this person sold the ticket and then the system. Actually, most of the times it's been happening recently is because of like Eventbrite system or something like that. It was just a huge misunderstanding, which they contacted me and we helped them get it resolved. Recently, I can only think of one person that actually tried to scam someone in the past like couple months, and they got called out within like the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that wouldn't fly well with the group, right?
Yeah, the whole thing is like, that's the thing. It's just holding people really accountable. So it's like I said, it's such a small community. Even though we have 35,000 people, it's small enough where, and if someone gets called out, their friend would say, "Yo, you need to like handle this before it explodes." I would say there hasn't been any incident where someone got called out and didn't resolve the issue. Like, there's people who get called out, owe someone $100, and they find a way to pay them back.
Yeah.
So, just really keeping people accountable.
A ton of accountability.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you guys are about 35,000 users right now. How did you guys manage to grow it to such a big community? And when would you say was the tipping point? Like, do you guys just totally explode?
So I would have to say that the beginning of this year, beginning of 2015, we were at 7,500 users. And within this last year, we exploded to 35,000 users. And I would say the growth like blew up this last summer. So there was a lot of activity going into EDC, people buying and selling. And then during EDC, you would see in Vegas people buying and selling that met on RavExchange. When I was in Vegas, I was in the hotel lobby, and I would see people from the group page buying and selling tickets. So I personally think that from that moment forward, people just recommended it to their friends, needed tickets to Hard Summer, needed tickets to all these events that happened in the summer, and it just blew up from there. And one of the things that really helped us is just having a really reliable place to buy tickets. Like you can come on RavExchange to sell or buy tickets. Like, there's so much inventory there.
Yeah, and do you think the fact that it's on Facebook and people can see the person's profile, their picture, all of that is a big part of the accountability piece?
It's totally like when I actually used it for the first time, I went on the person's profile, like see if it was a real profile, and I just did like little things that you could see, like if they have activity. It's just not like something they made. If we had mutual friends, like I remember the first person I actually traded, we had a mutual friend, and the mutual friend was actually my cousin in San Jose. So the dude didn't know that he was my cousin, so he hit him up. He was like, "Hey, do you know who Stephen Booey is?" He's like, "Yeah, he's my cousin. It's totally cool." So I was like, right there, like that's you were assured that I wasn't gonna get scammed for like whatever $100 it was.
Yeah.
Especially since I was just gonna email him the ticket, and he was gonna send me the money. So there's a ton of accountability, and we kind of encourage people to go through that process. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like the whole thing about the Facebook thing, and that's what we, our Facebook page is like a really great learning experience, so that we can see what works and what doesn't work. I mean, the whole intention when I first started RavExchange was to have a website eventually, and we use the Facebook group page as like a learning step, so that we can see what the pain points were, what works and what doesn't work. And having a public profile, having accountability, having people vouch for you really improves your chance of selling your ticket and having a smooth transaction.
Yeah, I think so, and that actually brings me back to a time that I was trying to get like tickets for Audio on the Bay, and then I think the tickets weren't transferable, or it was some event where you can't transfer the ticket. So I went to all the people's like Facebook pages to see if they were like ravers or festival goers, instead of just someone with like, I don't know, very few pictures. So that's kind of how I decided who I was going to get the ticket from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we encourage people to do that same type of practice. And I think, the people who have problems basically don't do their due diligence. And like I said, we're here to help people, our users. We go above and beyond to help anyone to ask us for help.
Yeah. So you guys have obviously been really successful at growing this community. What secrets or what advice you have for somebody else out there that's either trying to grow a community in the music industry or anything to do with having a Facebook page or doing something online?
So I mean, I think me and Dennis like would agree on this point where is if you have an idea and you believe, like, you truly believe that it works, don't give up on it, right? And don't let people tell you that, or like, people are gonna tell you that it may not work because that's their opinion. It's hard, because everybody's gonna have their opinion. If you have an idea, you should definitely work for it. Don't like kill yourself, going for it though. There's definitely, you got to take care of yourself. But if you have an idea, pursue it. Like, do your research, do your due diligence. Don't just kind of live the fairy tale. Make sure you get your homework done on whatever you believe is going to work. And then, if you're putting hard work towards it and you do your homework, it's going to work.
Yeah, and I totally agree on that. It's just like, when we first started RavExchange, there were people who doubted us that, we didn't need enough to buy and sell tickets, but, we definitely saw the need for it, and we kept pushing at it. And like I said, the Facebook group page is like a stepping stone. We don't want to like dive right into the website, into the app. So, all the stuff we've been saying, doing is like, it's all the right moves because we've been planning it so well. Every time we come into a meeting with anyone, we're really well prepared. We make sure we do all of our due diligence. And that's just like my advice to anyone who wants to go into business or the music industry or whatever is pursue your dreams and be committed and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, really.
Yeah. So what's been the most challenging part then of this whole journey or, for the last couple of years?
I think for like personally, it would definitely have to be juggling all the things that I do. Because, when you say, when I said focus or like, pursue your goal, I'm also taking care of myself, so I also, I'm working another job. To get money to fund RavExchange and also to fund myself, like pay rent, stuff like that. And that's more of a technical thing, if there was more time in the day, then it would just be good. But there's not, and you have to take care of yourself. Other than that, like Dennis said, like, every move we've made, it's been the right move, but it's been the right move because of something that we did prior to that. Things just don't happen. Sometimes they do, but for a reason. And the way you're prepared for it kind of defines how you go forward.
Yeah, and a challenge for RavExchange, I agree with everything Steven said, even for myself. Like, we both work two jobs, basically one for RavExchange and then our daytime job, which is to fund RavExchange.
Yeah.
So, that's a whole juggling act in itself. But yeah, basically just take care of yourself. And the number one challenge for RavExchange in itself is just being consistent. Having a consistent voice, having a consistent policy of how we handle things. Customer service to us is like number one. Even though we have no obligations to help people resolve their issues or, provide questions and all that, which a lot of other group pages don't, we do. We help people as much as we can. So that's one of the challenges. It's just being able to bring on help, know when to ask for help, and having people there that believe in your mission and help you, push it forward.
Yeah. Awesome. So what then has been the most rewarding thing of this whole journey?
Personally, the most rewarding thing is just hearing people talk about RavExchange and how much it's helped them, make friends, buy tickets, buy things. That's the most rewarding thing, really. It's just being able to provide a service that people love to the community.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think I can definitely vouch for that. At first when I started using RavExchange, I was, just using it here and there. And then I think eventually I just like met some really cool people off of there that really truly wanted to go to certain events. So I would sometimes like, I don't know, like give a ticket away for free or, trade something. And through that, I've definitely met people that I hang out with like every now and then or just meet up at festivals.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. That's probably one of the reasons why I love doing it. It's a thing. It's a thing for people to meet, explore, and buy tickets.
Yeah. Would you guys say that either one of you guys have met friends through RavExchange yourself?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm more. I've met a few people, but I think I'm more like strengthened bonds through RavExchange. Mm-hmm. Like I'd be like, oh, hey, I met you at a rave. It's like, oh, you're also on RavExchange. Find me at the next rave, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then whenever, like, sometimes when I need help on just like in general, like I'll see people who do this certain thing, like marketing or something like that. I just get advice from people. It's also kind of like a community thing, like Dennis said. So we all share everything.
Yeah. And so obviously up to now, it's been, very much just like a community-based thing. So do you guys have plans of like monetizing that, or is that on the agenda for 2016?
It's on the agenda, but I wouldn't say that it's a pressing need for RavExchange. We definitely want to build out the community and build out all the feature sets before we start making any money off the community. We try to make it as minimal as possible, but still be able to run a business and provide these services through basically making money off the website.
Yeah. Okay. And then what would you say is up and coming for the next couple years, like beyond building out the app and beyond the website?
So we definitely are planning on expanding into other areas. So obviously right now I would say we're pretty big in the Bay Area. SoCal is up and coming for us. We're going to try to get into New York, that whole, like scene. And then other big areas like Vegas, obviously, Seattle, Chicago, Texas, Florida, all those places where you pretty much see a massive at all those areas, big 3-day massives. And that's where, obviously we're the biggest congregation of EDM lovers are. So we want to expand there. And then we also want to get out of, not get out of, but expand into other genres, into like hip hop, rock concerts. We started that new hip hop group, and that's grown pretty quickly. And then we also want to get into sporting events. So we want to do sporting tickets. So eventually hopefully you would see our platform doing its service for all these types of things.
Yeah, and just to expand on what Steven said, our RavExchange group page, which is for hip hop and R&B, it was started about a month ago, and we already have 2,500 people on there. So, the need for a safe place to buy and sell tickets is definitely there. So, provide our services where we can, basically.
Yeah, awesome. And do you guys see this going like out of the United States and internationally?
That'd be awesome, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be nice. For my personal international expansion goals, it's not the buying and selling of tickets. It's more about making it easier to buy tickets internationally. So when people from Germany, Australia, whatnot wants to come to America to go to these festivals, having a centralized place to do it versus going on Craigslist or waiting until the day or when it first releases to buy tickets. When I attended UMF Korea, I went to go buy tickets, and the site was completely in Korean. I didn't understand anything, and it was poorly built. It was just like a really bad way to buy tickets, essentially. So I see like an international portal place to buy tickets to all EDM events.
That's awesome.
Without charging the Ticketmaster type fees, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you hear about people looking for like Tomorrowland tickets all the time, and they're like, "Well, good luck, bro." Like,
yeah.
So.
I mean, most of the people who bought Tomorrowland tickets are in Europe. There's not many in America, so that's what I'm saying. It's like having a more space for Americans and people abroad to buy tickets to these multinational events.
Yeah, awesome. All right, well, we want to get to know a little bit about you guys personally. So, for Dennis and Steven, tell us about like your background, like what you guys studied, and like what you guys are currently doing right now outside of RavExchange.
Yeah, so I went to San Francisco State, studied marketing. Always knew I wanted to get into the marketing field. I started my career as a marketing manager at a medical technology company. And I still currently work at a medical technology company, just at a different one. That's essentially what I do. On my free time, I love traveling. I, love seeing places in America, even abroad.
So I went to school at Cal at UC Berkeley. I started off in community college though, and I transferred over, which by the way, I would totally recommend that path for people. And I went to school for psychology. And I kind of jumped around a lot, so I did like math, chem, bio, but then I just kind of landed in psychology, and I really liked it. And after that, when I graduated, I started in marketing, and I'm pretty heavy into marketing now, which is funny because I was not interested in marketing at all. Not that I wasn't interested, I just didn't know of it or had any idea what I was going to do. So I got this internship my last year at college, and I got hired into that job when I graduated. And here I am now. I'm just basically doing, just heavy marketing work in my career. On my free time, I also like to travel. I go out a lot, so not like like partying. Sometimes I travel to different states with a friend. See new places, eat different foods. And I try to go out of the country once a year. This year I went to Costa Rica for a week, which was awesome.
Oh, nice.
And then this upcoming year, 2016, I'm trying to go to like Japan, Australia, stuff like that.
Yeah. How old are the both of you by chance?
I'm 25. I'm 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you two meet? How did you two come about, and how did you two end up working together?
So I actually met Dennis at a rave, I actually remember that night. It was a club at Ruby Sky.
Mm-hmm.
It was February 12th, and I know this because that night a lot of things happened. One of my friends actually met his girlfriend that night at his first EDM event, and they're still dating, which is pretty insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met Dennis that night. We actually didn't talk a lot because we were both kind of drunk, and it was a fun night. And then the next day, it was the next day. He added me on Facebook, or I added on my Facebook, and then we just started talking about just random stuff. Just started talking. We had a lot in common. Just started hanging out more. I started coming over to his house for barbecues and such, and then my group of friends clashed with his group of friends, and here we are.
And now we're actually housemates.
Yeah, we live together.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, so I mean, like, you guys just decided that you guys wanted to do like RavExchange together, or you guys combined at some point?
So, like Steven said, I started RavExchange by myself in 2013, and at the beginning of this year, I needed a business partner. And me and Steven, we talk, we really get along. So I invited him to join the RavExchange team. And essentially, that's how we got started working together.
Yeah. How's that experience been like? How do you guys get along in and outside of work?
I think we mesh pretty well. We like the same things. We listen to the same music. We think the same way. I would say so. In like terms of business and just like in day-to-day things. And then just the business as well. Like, there's actually been very few times, I can't even think of a couple times where we've had completely opposing ideas. Usually, like, I have an idea and then he like edits it, or he has an idea and I edit his idea.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never like clashing, which is pretty cool. And I'm kind of thankful that doesn't happen, but I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. I mean, like, so between me and Steven, we're both very like marketing people, creative side kind of thing. And we also have our third co-founder, analytical, very like direct kind of person. So he didn't see all that creative stuff. So we have a balance in our team. But yeah, just like Steven said, we work really well together. As much as we're both really headstrong, we're really like stubborn sometimes. But there hasn't been anything that we both don't agree upon. We can figure most things out if we just talk it through.
Yeah.
So that's basically like an advice I would give to anyone, even if looking for a housemate or a business partner. It's just someone that you can actually have a conversation with and intelligently work through problems and not get emotional and go off.
And we're both really good at using Google, so I think that definitely
Definitely a little bromance going on. You guys are both sharing the same earbud too, so. So I want to know a little bit about like when you guys started listening to dance music, electronic music. What's your connection with that?
So I'll tell mine first because it's probably short. So I went to my first rave, and the first time I ever experienced EDM was Escape in 2011, first year it came out. Had a great night, had a blast. Didn't really even know what EDM was at that time, to be honest. But I just knew that it was really fun music, really fun scene. So from that moment forward, basically changed my life. I went to a couple more events, met a lot more people, and just met some amazing people throughout this 4 years that I've been partying, having fun.
I started listening to EDM back in high school, and I did attend a couple events, those like off the grid events, which were definitely not as intense as they are now. It's just kind of like a bunch of people gathering to listen to music. And then in 2010, that summer, like it was August when Identity Fest came to the Bay Area. My friend told me about it, and then we all got tickets, and then all my friends went who had never listened to EDM, or maybe just like one or two songs on the radio. And then that's kind of when I was like, okay, all my friends are into it now, so it's okay to be completely open about everything, about EDM music and stuff. So then that kind of kicked off, and then since then, that whole 3-year period from 2010 to 2013 was like an intense amount of EDM and festivals, and just meeting new people and packing 6 people in a car and going to another state to go to a rave type stuff.
Yeah. Everyone in the same hotel, right? 2 beds, right?
Like 15 people to a room, which back then was super awesome. I loved it, but now I'm like, I'm gonna take my own bed. But yeah, it was just I've been listening to EDM for a while, and I think that like going to festivals, my experience with festivals back then was that it was very very loving. When you go in, there's people that greet you, people you never know, just like come up, say hi. You talk about random stuff, and then the whole community as a whole is just very plur. As a lot of people say, and it was just fun. You kind of learn about yourself. When you're with a bunch of other people, when you're forced to be with a bunch of other people, and that whole experience kind of, I guess, I would say, turned me into a better person. Like, I think about people more, I'm more caring, stuff like that. Not that I was, but it definitely kind of opened the floodgates to like, I love you, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean, you both kind of said you slowed down a little bit, right, on going to the festivals. Why is that?
Age. Age.
Oh, shut up! I'm 28 and I go to 4 shows a week.
I don't know. It's just there's just a lot of stuff that kind of came up. Especially when I transferred to Cal, I started having to focus more on myself, taking care of myself, getting good grades. I had to work a job in another city to pay rent, so it was very hard to kind of make time for anything. And then after I graduated, I kind of just hit the ground running with my career, so it was even harder to go to events once a week.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. So it's like I work 7 days a week. So, finding time to go out on a Saturday, to wake up on Sunday and feel super tired, it's kind of hard, So right now for both of us, it's really focusing on our careers and building this company. So as much as we would love to attend events, we pick and choose now. It's not like we don't go. It's just which artists, what city.
Try to do new stuff. Like I'm going to Holy Ship in February, which is a first for me. So like stuff like that for sure.
Okay. And so who are some of your favorite artists?
I'm a huge trance guy, like huge trance.
Yeah.
But also open to other music. So I would have to say Paul Van Dyke is my favorite artist, and then down the line it's just like a bunch of trance DJs like Ali and Fila, Brian Kearney, Giuseppe, ATB. The list goes on. And then recently, over the past like 2 years, I've been getting into more club house music. So you have people like Oliver Heldens, Chami, guys like that.
So, yeah, for me, I'm pretty like wide range of music. I also am a big trance head, so love trance music, but also like Diplo, Bro Safari, Deadmau5. So a wide mix of DJs and artists, and I'm actually moving a lot into R&B and hip hop now too. So a lot of different music.
Yeah, and do you guys have like a memory of maybe like your favorite moment or favorite festival that you guys have attended?
I would definitely have a lot of those. One I can think of the top of my head was EDC 2013. I think that was the year when like a huge group of my friends went, like 40 and 50 of us, and we were all very close. We hang out pretty frequently, and everyone went to the venue at different times, and then we all miraculously found each other at Circuit Grounds at the end of Bingo Player's set. No, it was at end of someone's set right before Cosmic Gate, and then at the beginning of Cosmic Gate, it was just like all 40 of us were in one place, and then Exploration of Space played, and I just like lost my shit. That was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have like 2 very memorable moments. One was when we literally took up half the dance floor to see Mayan and Shane with our friends. Like literally half the dance floor was just
at Ruby Sky. Yeah, like a whole quarter of it.
Like recently, when they came to town recently?
Probably like till 12 maybe. So when they were pretty small actually. So we filled up a big portion of the dance floor. And then my second probably was 2 years ago, EDC Calvin Harris. Great memorable moment. Being with all my friends, watching fireworks, just one of those moments, sticks with you.
Yeah. Okay. So, before we get out of here, I guess for everyone else out there that is still pretty new to the RavExchange community or definitely wants to check it out, how would you guys describe the overall community or vibe or culture of RavExchange?
I would say it's more than what you hear in the headlines. So, there's a lot on the radio, like a ton of stuff on the radio. But once you actually get into it, after it'll probably be like your first event. You just if you meet the right people, then you would really understand what the community is all about. And I hate to say it, like there's a huge influx of people who go there to just like go hard, which is awesome. I love it. I used to be one of those people. But when you meet the right people and you make the right friends at events, small event or big event, it can really change the way you think about raving. It becomes less about going hard and stuff like that, and it becomes more about like hanging out with your friends, listening to good music, feeling like the goosebumps on your body when you first walk in, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But still go hard, which is awesome.
Yeah, and RavExchange, the community, we promote blur. So just respecting each other and making sure that everyone's okay when we're at these events, and even outside of events. Just we're a pretty small, tight-knit community. We try to help each other as much as we can. So that's what we try to promote. It's just a blur lifestyle.
Yeah. So what do you guys think that the music industry can use more or less of?
It can definitely use less headlines, like someone died at this event, kids overdosed, people arrested, and more of the things that we see on a normal basis is people helping each other out and all these beautiful things that happen. But people don't really talk about it because they write articles so that people click to it and get money through advertising and whatnot. So we want to see more positive stories versus just negative things that these bigger news outlets try to push out.
Yeah, I agree, because that's the majority of what actually goes on is actually all positive, but apparently no one wants to write or read about that, right? Because they don't make the headlines. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, back then, like when I would prepare for a rave, me and my friends get together and worry about like who we're gonna meet, what we're gonna give them, stuff like that. But now, like people are preparing like how not to die. Like that's definitely not how you should go into a rave. Yeah, you should be prepared, but come on, like don't worry about dying.
Yeah. What about the world? What do you think that the world can use more or less of?
Innovation. People need to just basically, follow their dreams and think big. There's so much out there. There's so much that we as human beings can do for each other and the world, and just not. It's not always about money. So that's great. Innovation.
And there's a lot of, I would call them drones out there now. So I was actually talking about this the other day with my friend. Like the generation of our parents, they innovate a ton of innovation. Obviously, like look what we have now, and now there's a fraction of that. There's like startups and stuff coming, blowing up, but everyone now is just getting into a settled job. They're like, okay, I'm gonna become X this at X company, and just get paid the same every year with the raise, and that's kind of boring. Like I work a 9-to-5 job right now. But I'm building another company with a friend of mine, and that's something that definitely a lot of people are scared to do, but they shouldn't be, because here's two average people right here working a day job and then building a company, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Like Neon Owl is huge, and because you followed it. So I think the world needs more people like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree, because we're in this day and age. Unfortunately, we were taught to go to school, right, and get a job, and then 10 years down the line, we'll have this life. 20 years down the line, we'll have this life. But right now, in 2015, 2016, it doesn't really take a lot of capital or something to actually implement an idea. So this is the time that anyone can be an entrepreneur and anyone can start a project. And that's why I really relate with you when that's what I believe the world needs more of.
And there's so many resources. There's people start companies to help people start companies. You know, so like there's no excuse to just do what you want.
Yeah. Okay. And so, as either as individuals or as RavExchange, what kind of legacy do you guys want to leave behind, or how do you guys want to be remembered as?
So my dream one day is to be a business teacher in high school, for high schools, and to teach kids that, you don't have to go to college to be successful in life. The thinking behind it, a lot of the high school teachers now is you have to go to college. If you don't, you're gonna be a failure in life. Like that's not it at all. Like we're putting kids into these boxes where they're going to debt, get these jobs, pay off that debt, and get in more debt. But
and waste like 10 years of their life.
Granted, I went to college myself, but if I look back on it, I really didn't have to go to college to do what I do now or what I'm trying to do. So that's kind of the thinking that I want to go into, be my legacy. It's just having a positive impact on students and on kids, and just telling them to follow their dreams and think big.
Yeah, and I definitely feel the same way. I want to be remembered as someone who helped people do better with their life. And I totally feel the same way about the whole college thing. Like I said earlier, I went to community college first. And if it wasn't for my parents' culture and the way I was raised, I probably would have tried to finish what I needed to do at community college, and then just probably get to the same place I am now. Granted, I probably would have met different people, but still, I don't think that college is a waste of time, but I think there's definitely better investments with your time if you're driven.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, I just want to be remembered as someone who helped people lead a better and more efficient life.
That's awesome. That makes the three of us then, because I'm actually a UC Davis dropout. And, I ended up with a ton of debt, but I feel like most of the things I learned and the skills that I have came from working, internships, and that's what got me recruited for my last job I was at. So, school is great and education is great, especially if you're going to a very specific technical field.
Yeah.
But I think for entrepreneurs or people that want to get into marketing or business development,
you just need experience.
It's all about experience, and the people that you meet along the way.
Networking is key. That's one advice I would give to anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur or anyone. And really, it's just network, and everyone that you meet can positively impact your life in some way.
You can't be a shy entrepreneur. You have to be a very open, proactive person to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. But if anybody wanted to get in touch with you guys or join the RavExchange community, can you tell us about where they can find you guys?
Yeah, they can find us a few different ways. So first, you can go to RavExchange.com. Second, on Facebook, you can search up RavExchange, 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 one word. Or email me at dennis@ravexchange.com.
Yeah, you can also reach me at sbowie@ravexchange.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I just really wanted to say that I think you guys' community is awesome, and what you guys have created is awesome. And I've really seen you guys go from, I didn't start using it at the very beginning, but even in the last year and a half, the community has completely exploded. And I know that you guys are going to have a very successful 2016.
Awesome.
Thanks, Elaine.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So that was Steven and Dennis from RavExchange. Love what they're about and absolutely love the community that they've built in the last few years. So I can't wait to see what's next for them in 2016. And I really resonated with the part about it's not about the education and 9 to 5 anymore. That doesn't exactly guarantee you the life that you want. And really, we're in a time where there's so much opportunity to create something and to do something you're passionate about. And I think that that's exactly what these guys are doing right now. If you haven't checked this out yet, make sure you do at neonowl.co. We have a ton more projects on there, a ton more videos. Actually, we recently posted an after movie of our first charity show that we held back in December at USF. We had Ken Loy there, Philip Adrian, Kepik, Adapt, as well as AJ Orbit.
So make sure you check that out under our charity section. And if you haven't checked us out across Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, we are Neon Owl Co. Lastly, if you enjoyed the music that you were listening to in the background throughout the entire interview, it's actually from one of the artists that we interviewed a while back. His name is Alex Arietti. He is actually a 13-year-old producer from Florida. And I'm still surprised at the amazing tracks that he pumps out. And with that, I'll leave you guys with Beyond Critical, which is one of my favorite new tracks from him. See you guys next time.